Holy crap! What's up, Big 12 Nation? It is Tuesday night in America. That can mean only one thing. The Frogs just won another Alamo Bowl in comeback fashion. But also, it's time for your favorite YouTube-centric college football show. That's right, it's the one. It's the only. It's the biggest 12 with me, your host, Clint Foster, and my co-host, Brownie. And this is a special Biggest 12 After Dark because not only is it Tuesday, this is TCU post-game. So, woohoo! Yes, let's do the thing. Frogs win in overtime, 30-27 over USC. We're going to talk all about it. We're going to take your calls. We're going to celebrate the end of this roller coaster of a season with an Iowa State Cyclone because, of course, why not? And we're also going to wrap up how things have been going in other bowl games for the Big 12. We'll talk about BYU. We'll talk about Houston. We'll talk about all the things. But before we get into any of that, you know I need something from you, compadres. I need you to subscribe to the show, okay? There it is. It's running across the bottom of the screen. At Big 12 VOCFB, at TCU VOCFB, if you're just interested in these TCU post-game shows, which I do obviously throughout the season. But Biggest 12, we're here every Tuesday night. Rain or shine, football or no football. We're always talking Big 12 football. So you want to subscribe to this thing. And I'm hoping, that we maybe have an outsized audience tonight because of this exciting bowl game. So, if this is your first time here, welcome. Cheers to you. And I also need you to follow me on Twitter at Clint_Foster55. If you don't already, follow Brownie on Twitter as well at Cyclone Brownie. That's that new Twitter handle. Voice of College Football on all of your social media handles, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Clint Foster Creations. If you haven't watched Remember the Alamo Bowl yet, oh my God, do yourself a favor, watch it. I am, by the way, this is a little like tidbit teaser for those of y'all out there in internet world. I am planning to re-edit Remember the Alamo Bowl also in an episodic format. So if you're of the TikTok generation, you're like, 2 hours. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm going to cut it into episodes. Okay, 4 to 5 episodes. Maybe we'll have that out within 2 weeks. We'll see how long it takes me when I have my spare time. But so keep a lookout for that at Clint Foster Creations. And also I am in the beginning stages of another documentary short. No, it's not Remember the Alamo Bowl Part 2. We might do that, but I'm working on something else right now. And I'm excited to share with you as more things happen. So anyway, you want to be abreast of all of that, you want to subscribe to the channel. Okay, so do that. Subscribe to the channel. Also, check us out wherever you get your podcasts, 5-star reviews. This isn't your first day on the internet. Do all the things. And check out thevoiceofcollegefootball.com. Great analysis, great merch, all the things, right? All the things you can possibly need to scratch that college football itch. And a lot of us, we're now officially in off-season mode. So Lord knows that itch needs to be scratched. So that's enough of me going on and on and on and on and on. Brownie, how was your Christmas and how was your third-party viewing experience of yet another magical TCU Alamo Bowl?
Christmas was great. A lot of presents. 99.99% of them were for mini-me. So,
as it should be.
Yeah. Grandkid definitely got spoiled over both family Christmases, but I got a few things off of my list, mostly adult stuff. I'm sorry that I screwed up your Christmas, got me additional Christmas presents, so that was fine. And for all of you late shoppers, it's okay. My wife still has not gotten me a Christmas present, so.
Well, hey, so my present for my wife, I ordered it the week of Thanksgiving, and it still has not shipped. Okay, so
Jesus.
It could be worse.
But at least you.
Gift. I'm ready to give it to her, and I'm excited to give it to her. But I'm like, it's not here. We're waiting for it. We're gonna see.
What but at least you got her a gift. My wife just blatantly either forgot or just did not care.
Goodness. Not man. No, that's unfortunate. So we have a call in already. We're talking all Alamo Bowl. Please call in to the show. Love to have you. This is a friend of the show. Frogs win, 30-27 in overtime. Steve Lawson, we're going to see if we can get, okay, device is not connected. So, Steve, if you're listening, we got to make sure that your mic at least is connected. And one thing that you can do, those of you who are new to StreamYard, you're calling in, there's a little widget down at the bottom of the screen. If you hit that, the widget, the settings widget, go down to audio, then you can make sure that it's connecting to the correct microphone that you want it to connect to.
And run the test.
Yes, run the audio test as well. So, Steve, I'm going to keep my eye out for you there. I'm not going to be able to really text you back and forth during the show, but we'll make sure to get you on. But thoughts on this game? Holy moly, y'all. There's so many good things, so many exciting things to talk about. Yes, TCU owns the Big Ten, Mando Frog. Absolutely. Amazing finish. It was like lightning directly into my veins. You know, there was, as you would expect with a backup quarterback and with a new offensive coordinator and, you know, a lot of opt-outs on USC's side, there was some sloppiness in this game, but there were also some incredible moments. I mean, Jordan Richardson easily with the catch of the year for USC with their touchdown, but Jeremy Payne sprinting down that sideline, keeping a toe in bounds. I mean, that is immediately one of those new iconic plays in TCU history that you're going to replay in your mind. People ask you, oh, what are some of your favorite TCU moments? You know, you're going to say the immaculate deflection. You're going to say Hypno-Toad in a hurry, right? You're going to say Bud Clark's pick six in the Fiesta Bowl. Jeremy Payne, this touchdown, this game-winning touchdown, walk-off touchdown in overtime is right up there with all of the greats. And, Steve, it looks like we do have you here. So, Steve, I'm going to add you in. Can you hear us, Steve? Okay,
well, while Steve figures it out, if you go back and watch the replay, I think the funniest part of the entire thing is as Payne was tiptoeing the sideline, the teammate behind him grabbed like his back and his chest a little bit, and as he started to run, pushed him forward and then face planted into the turf, and then was like gazing up as he was like running. And I was like, I'm pretty sure Payne does not need help running.
Yeah. Well, he had himself quite the season anyway. This is a kid I've been psyched about since his freshman year last year. But let's go ahead and start with him as the first thing to highlight about this game. We'll get to Ken Seals, of course. Don't you worry. We'll talk about Ken Seals. But the Payne train was freaking rolling today. And, man, you better give this kid whatever money he needs to stay at TCU. We cannot lose Jeremy Payne.
He's Texas Tech's if they want.
Yeah, isn't everyone, right? So Jeremy Payne, here's some stats for you. 13 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown. And then also 6 catches. We're doing a lot of checkdowns this game. 6 catches, 50 yards, and, of course, that game winner on a 35-yard long catch. I mean, chef's kiss, chew freaking chew. I cannot say enough positive things about this kid. Let's see if we have Steve in now. Steve, can you hear us now?
Do you got me?
Yes, I have you.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you having me on.
Yes. So, Steve, give us your thoughts on that win.
Well, Payne train at this point. I can't say any more about that. That is my sole desire at this point. I have notes and I can't pull them up because I've been drinking like a typical TCU fan. But yeah, Payne train all day, every day. He should have been a starter from the get-go, and honestly, but I understand giving certain people their call when they stay and go. But man, what a game. What a game. I can't even imagine. I was screaming and hollering in my living room. I wanted to go, but it just didn't work out. But whatever. I'm so excited. I can't even put words to it at this point.
Yeah, it was that last touchdown. I've gotten to where watching games on TV, I can be relatively chill about it, especially when Abby's asleep next to me on the couch. And I was holding the dog for that whole fourth quarter into overtime because that's when we started doing better. And I'm like, you're not going anywhere. You're staying right here. And she's now getting upset at me because she wants to go outside. But that touchdown happened, and I jumped up and woke everybody up. And yes, very, very exciting. And yes, Scooter, man, Jack did make that catch. I'm so sick of catch rules, man, controlling it all the way to the ground. Give me a break with that.
I don't understand how that is not a catch. It doesn't even touch the ground, and yet they gave a catch to them as it touched the ground. So what are we talking about anymore?
Yeah, ridiculous stuff. Well, you got anything else for us, Steve?
I honestly, I had a bunch of stuff, but I don't want to hold up everybody else. And I do want to bring up one other factor real quick. You mentioned before about the 335 dying, and I hope it dies very soon. The 335, I can't remember who you mentioned was going to a school for being in a pro offense.
Well, that's Iowa State's putting
Iowa
us
State.
3.
See, yeah, that was you, Brownie. Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
And I really want the 335 to die. This is a joke. It's obviously exploited. You can run up the middle all day long, which is what USC did. Unfortunately, our linebackers and finally stepped up and said, no more of that. But I hope for better for the future. Bye, Hoover. Have a good day, and let's move on to the next player.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm going to tell you something else before I let you go, Steve. I'm going to go ahead and say this. This team is, damn it, they're going to make me believe again.
Right.
If we can get, I was ready to be done. If we can get a solid quarterback in the portal to compete with Schobel, right? To where it looks like we're going to have somebody playing quarterback. I mean, dadgummit, I'm gonna be believing again. They're gonna do it to me, and maybe part of this is a curse, a certain curse being lifted because a certain thing has changed. I don't know. Maybe that's part of it as well. But Steve, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Best to maker from UNT at this point. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Yeah. Let's go. I will say about, and I see we got someone else in the queue. We'll get you on here in just a minute. On the subject of the 335, we do have to give Andy Avalos' defense their flowers because they entered final form today in this game. They stood tall. Yes, as a scheme, it is not designed to stop an effective run game very well, but they filled gaps, especially late in this game, and the secondary was spectacular. Amazing job by the secondary. You had Bud Clark with some incredible passes defended. You had Channing Canada with some great defensive plays. Lots of other guys stepping up. I mean, Brownie, what did you see from TCU's defense tonight?
So I thought that the beginning of the game was, kind of a catch-all. Obviously, the first couple of possessions are always going to be scripted, and then once you get off a script, it's really who's going to be able to adapt, able to change. And I think that both teams honestly held their own on both sides of the football. There were a couple of mistakes on each end, but I think the tall and the very telling sign was the overtime plays, right? Because most of the time your overtime is scripted for maybe the first 2 plays. And TCU being able to stop both of those runs on the 2-yard line that basically backed USC up to, what was it, the 15? That definitely helped. And I don't think Lincoln Riley did a good job at picking those 2 specific run plays. I think they were too obvious. Especially earlier in the game when you guys came out with almost the exact same cover 4. You guys ran the exact same cover 4 with just a stint and a delay on the inside, which got you guys that first stop. And if they would have just ran that exact same tight end out route option where he can just sit there, turn around, and play in his feet, he was wide open in the end zone if that happened because you guys were bringing pressure from that side again. So I think that TCU did well. They felt like that they were probably going to run on first down and second down, and then they really dug in their heels. I think a lot of the pass interference and non-pass interference calls were extremely ticky-tacky this game.
Yeah.
Very inconsistent in my personal opinion, but I mean, we're so used to Big 12 refs that, I was not shocked by literally any of these calls. I'm like, oh, hey, look, it's just another day for TCU.
Yeah. I have to say, though, Maeva, that kid's got a freaking cannon. He has a very strong arm. And, every pass defended was a win. in my book when you saw some of those passes that they were able to complete. Okay, we got another call in. Swagmeister97. Swag, can you hear us? Do we have you?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
I hear you loud and clear. What are you thinking about that Alamo Bowl win?
All I can think is that ref at the way very end of the game just saying over and over and over again, like, dude, that needs to be like an audio meme of some sort. I don't know, whatever the fuck you would call it, but that is fucking hilarious. That is one of the best things you can ever hear. The game is not over. The game is not over. Trying to give the other team hope the whole freaking time. The game is not over. The game is not over. 3 seconds later, dead silent. The game is over, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a nice evening and get home safe, bro. That was amazing. That was the best part of that game, was literally the ref's call at the way very end of that thing. He tried to give that game to USC, man.
Yes.
You cannot tell me that is not one of the best moments of that game.
Absolutely, yeah. As everybody in purple's losing their minds. Wait. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's over.
Bro, I was kind of scared when Seals took that sack in the back. I was like, man, you could have done anything. Literally, just throw the dang thing out of bounds. And I'm not going to lie, I thought that literally coughed up the game right there. But, man, Payne just showed why he's number one running back next year. He showed it all on the field that game, man. That's just epic. That's the type of comeback that we needed to get hyped for next season.
Yeah. Well, Anthony Alabi, who was offensive lineman who came after that Sun Bowl, the Sun Bowl that I got behind me, right? The one that kicked off this whole TCU renaissance. He was saying how that first USC game was an inflection point for TCU's program, and this USC game can also be an inflection point for TCU's program. Are you going to continue this downslide, or are you going to inject some new life into this program and move forward? And let me tell you something else about Jeremy Payne. If you are Gordon Sammis, you have got to be drooling and licking your chops thinking about Jeremy Payne in that pro-style offense behind a revamped offensive line. Let's freaking go. I can't wait for it.
Dude, the offense next year, I'm actually quite excited for it. My question is, like, who do you think is most likely going to be the backup running back to some degree? Do you think it's going to be a guy out of the transfer portal, like UNT's running back,
Denman, right?
or
it's got to be Denman?
Maybe. I don't know.
He had himself a good game. 6 carries, 31 yards. That's 5.2 a pop. And he had that touchdown. He had himself a good game running the ball.
I haven't watched the last couple of games. How many games has he played in, though?
He played a little bit late. I'm pretty sure he's a true freshman. Let's look at his splits actually really quick. Yeah, true freshman out of Palestine. Palestine's the one in the Levant. Palestine's the one in East Texas. Let's see. 44 carries, 147 yards this year, 2 touchdowns. Do we have splits? No? Okay, we don't. All right. But he has appeared in games, is my point.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's at least good to know. I mean, I don't know if those stats are good enough to give him the backup running back spot, especially knowing how many running backs are in the portal this year. I mean, shoot, for all we know, UConn's running back may be following Sammis to TCU next year.
Maybe.
We get that Wettermaker guy along with those two, and, man, this is just my opinion. I think Manjack is the next number 1 wide receiver, man. That guy, he's consistent. To me, he's always, the games that I've watched, like, he's Jason Witten type of consistent. Every game that I've watched, he's always gotten the first downs when we needed it. And, man, I mean, there's only an upside to that dude. I think he may be our number 1 wide receiver next year. But that's just my own.
He would be if he had any eligibility left, which I don't believe that he does.
I thought.
Yeah, Mando.
I could have sworn he was a junior.
No, he's a senior. Yeah, he's a senior.
Oh,
a senior.
dang. Never mind then. Okay,
But-
forget it. Back to Terry Shelton. I don't know how much he's proved, but sure, Terry
Shelton.
It could be
By
him.
the way,
Who knows?
Terry Shelton's grandpa is my mom's neighbor. So shout out Terry Shelton's grandpa.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
But,
that's crazy,
yeah,
dude.
That's a good football family. I'm excited about Terry Shelton. Yeah, we'll have Dwyer back. Thank you, Mando. We're gonna have plenty of pieces at receiver that can.
Oh, most definitely.
For sure. Oh yeah, Ed Small.
Funny note about
Ed Small as well.
Funny note about me, the starting center for TCU when they played in that Rose Bowl game is my next door neighbor. He literally lives like 100 yards away from me.
Jake is.
We got connections all around, bro.
He's a wonderful human being. Yeah, Jake.
Oh,
so I was equipment
fellow.
manager on that team, and yeah, he was great, absolutely great. A lot of really good people on that team, that 2010 team. Well, Swag, thank you for calling in, friend.
Absolutely, man. Have a nice evening.
Yeah, go Frogs. Okay, so we got to talk about seals, but let's take a quick break here to learn about Voice of College Football bets, and then we'll be back at it with more.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select a betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Do it. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Ken Seals. This man needs his flowers. Backup quarterback U is alive and well. Brandon Hassel, Grayson Muhlstein, Max Duggan, Bram Kohlhausen, and now Ken Seals coming back and winning in the Alamo Bowl, despite some less than stellar pass blocking, might I add. And Ken Seals, he found guys that were open. He had a lot of throws underneath, right? But that's smart playmaking, right? You get the ball in the hands of a playmaker, you let them do the rest. Jeremy Payne, case and point. But here's some stats for you for Ken Seals. 29 of 40 for 258 yards and 1 touchdown. That's that game winner and an interception. Also, he had the rushing touchdown. Very tough rushing touchdown there early in the game. Brownie, what did you see from Ken Seals?
I definitely think that the potential is there. Some of the throws were a little bit inaccurate. Towards the end of the game, there were a couple of underthrows that should have been kind of your generic dink and dunks. Overall, though, being able to step in, especially after Hoover has been king of the quarterback room for as long as he has been, to step in and play in a bowl game. And I mean, USC, they're not exactly a slouch. So I think it's kind of nice that you guys have a quarterback, and it's whether or not you guys go out into the transfer portal and get like one of the 500 other starting quarterbacks, or
a lot of options.
Yeah, or if you guys keep Seals and he fights for the starting job moving forward. So should be interesting.
Yeah, and you love it so much for Ken Seals. I mean, what a story. Kid grows up a TCU fan, dreams his whole life of playing for TCU, and then he gets an opportunity to make the game-winning play there at the end. You saw tears in his eyes at the end of that game. And Bram Kohlhausen going out with him as an honorary captain for the game. I mean, it's storybook stuff. And yes, I will be interested in probably making a sequel to Remember the Alamo Bowl. So we'll probably do that. Okay, We got another call in. Comfy Rambles is in the house. Comfy, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. I got
Uh,
nothing bad to say. Feeling good.
Just wanted to make this quick. And I basically everything's been said that needs to be said. Yeah, we're gonna Jeremy Payne, TCU legend, Seals, TCU legend at this point. Storybook ending for him. But only thing I need to say is TCU is backup QBU. By the way, I have done, but also they're Alamo Bowl U as well. They own the Alamo Bowl. They own San Antonio. They own Valero as well. They own the Big Ten and the Pac-12 because this was really a Pac-12 because a USC, yeah. But great game. I wasn't able to watch 2016 really live because I was too young, but I was able to watch this, and this is going to be a game I remember for the rest of my life as a Frogs fan. And that's all really it. We don't need Hoover. I respect his decision, but we either go Mestamaker or Schobel next year or some other guy because we're not getting Raiola. He's going to follow what Pat Mahomes did to go to Tech. So
I don't want Raiola to be completely.
I don't want him either, but I've seen him.
Well, he's got to tear his ACL first, so still waiting for that.
Yeah, he has to tear his ACL. Yeah,
still waiting.
That is true, yeah. But he would probably just go to Tech because that's what Mahomes did. So he's just going to do that. But just wanted to come out there and say that so I could. So I'm going to be on my way now. But
all right. Yes, appreciate you, Comfy. Thank you for always stopping in. Yeah, I think Dean Straka said it best on Twitter. Death, taxes, and TCU coming back to win the Alamo Bowl. Those are three things you can count on in your life. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and great end of the season. I mean, it's hard not to feel really, really good about the direction of things here. I had to let the dog out. She's been having a panic attack and wouldn't come over to the door. Okay. So, anyway, yeah. Okay. So we're gonna take a brief pause from the TCU talk. We'll circle back around to it. And then if y'all have want to call in, we're obviously still gonna do that. But we do need to make sure we circle back around to the other things happening in the Big 12. This is the biggest 12 after all. And the Big 12 is 3-0 in bowl games right now. BYU, of course, the people's national champion, won the Pop-Tarts Bowl 25-21. Another exciting come-from-behind win for the Cougs there in that one. A game that, frankly, was a little bit boring for a large portion of it and then got really, really exciting in the fourth quarter. BYU is another team that has nothing but good vibes going into 2026. Got their quarterback coming back. Got a lot of key pieces coming back. Of course, got their coach. You'd have to think that they're going to be in the immediate conversation to compete for a conference championship next year.
Yeah. I will say that I only watched the highlights, and I was not oohed or awed by any of those highlights, if I'm being brutally honest. We were traveling home that night, so I didn't really get to actually watch a whole lot of bowl games so far this year. This is actually the first one I've watched all season. So hooray. But it's interesting that the Big 12 is always like the redheaded stepchild. Like nobody takes us seriously. We're the fourth best in the P4 or whatever. And we have now beaten an ACC team, an SEC team, and now a Big 10 team.
Yep.
Like, sure, they might have been close games, but I mean, now the SEC is like, oh, well, you were fighting our 9th best SEC team, so the game didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, oh, boo-hoo, keep moving those goalposts.
Yeah, I love Illinois for beating Tennessee, too. Literally, the SEC is so overrated. Like,
yeah,
we all know it. This isn't news to any of us who have brains. Yeah. Let's keep that thing rolling. What else was I going to say on this topic? I lost it. But we should. Speaking of the SEC being overrated, Houston, 10-win Houston. Tell your kids about 10-win Houston beating LSU 38-35 in the Texas Bowl. Man, Willie Fritz, don't let that guy cook. He's got the Cougars rolling.
Is this their first 10-win season?
Well, certainly in a long time. I mean, they had 10 wins when they were in the Peach Bowl, however many years ago that was.
They were 13-1 in 2015.
Yeah, that would have been that Peach Bowl season. Yes.
13-1 in 2011. Okay, so they have had quite a few.
And I'm sure they won 10 games. I mean, literally their first
they
season
went
in the Southwest
12-2
Conference,
in 2021.
Well, I was going to say their first season in the Southwest Conference, they won the conference in like 70, whatever that was. So they probably had
10-1.
Yeah. And like those Andre Ware years, they were really good then. Like late 80s, mid to late 80s.
So they've had quite a few.
Yeah. I mean, more than you would expect.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going from, Dana, who 12-2, 8-5, fell off the cliff when they joined the Big 12. And Willie has now gone 4-8 and now 10-3. So maybe it's an upward trajectory for Houston. It's definitely going to be interesting for at least NIL wise, because I know for a fact that they spend a lot more on their basketball players.
Yeah, for sure.
Than any other Big 12 team. So I'm going to find it very interesting if now the focus is going to be starting to switch over to football from basketball for them.
Yeah, or at least maybe 60-40, a little bit more even.
I mean, I know that Houston basketball is honestly probably one of their biggest money makers, but let's be honest, football is your real big money maker. So it should be interesting seeing how much Willie gets, more backing, more money, more support from the AD. I mean, especially this season, if he gets another 8-win, 9-win, 10-win game, is it a potential that Willie Fritz might be on the move out of the Big 12? Because apparently that's a thing. Yeah.
Well, and I think that you make a very interesting point here, Fong Wei. Fong Wei. Okay. Let me tell you something. If Houston starts taking in a lot of those 4- and 5-star recruits, you better watch the heck out, right? Yeah. I mean, if you've watched the 30 for 30 about the U, right? They talk about the state of Miami, right? And they're like, we want to build a fence around South Florida. And if we can get all of these kids in South Florida, no one's going to beat us. That would happen to Houston as well. Absolutely. So, twould behoove the rest of us for that not to happen. but it is good to see Houston headed in the right direction. I mean,
I personally would absolutely love it for everybody in the state of Texas if that would happen. However,
I'm sure you would.
As somebody who's one of our new recruiting coaches has strong ties in Houston, I would not appreciate that at all.
Yeah. But man, I mean, 3-0 in bowl games so far. And this is a pro bowl game show, right? We say this on the Biggest 12 all the time. We love bowl games. Bowl games matter. Okay. Yes. The Big 12 is a good conference this year. It's time for people to understand that, right? I mean, TCU's season it ended on a brilliant note, and I'm feeling very, very good tonight. But at the end of the day, this was a disappointing season relative to where we thought we could and should be. Right. I think we can all agree on that. And my wife brought up, during the pregame, they're talking about, TCU 9th in the Big 12. She's like, y'all were 9th in the Big 12. Abby watches no football. Y'all were 9th in the Big 12. Wow, y'all must suck. And I'm like, well, I mean, we're 9th, but we had an 8-win season. The Big 12 is just really good this year. You had Tech, BYU, Utah, Houston, all with double-digit wins. Has Utah won double digits at this point, or will they if they beat Nebraska? Either way, they're close if they haven't, right? And then you also had K-State that rebounded from a really bad start. You had Cincinnati with a really strong season. Iowa State with still a strong season, right? There's a lot of Arizona. My God, Arizona's good. Who saw that coming? Arizona's good. And Arizona State, of course, with all of their injuries, they still had a good year. This is just a really good conference, top to bottom competitive. And you don't see that in the Big Ten, right? Big Ten's got 2 great schools, a couple of good schools, and then a whole lot of nonsense, right? SEC is being carried by 2 schools, right? Yep. I mean, this
ACC is buns. Their best team didn't even make the conference championship game.
Yes.
What are we doing?
Yes. I mean, listen, the narrative, don't listen to the narratives of the Kirk Herbstreits of the world. The Big 12 is a good conference. We play good football here, and this is the time that you get to prove it during bowl season, and we are proving it so far. And hell yeah, let's go. Yes, Steve, Shiner Cheer. That is the thing that you drink when you have just won a bowl game in December. Shiner Cheer, absolutely, made with pecans and peaches, as all good things are. All right. And let's make sure we're catching up on all of these comments. USC fans having aneurysms on Twitter right now. Listen, I will tell y'all the constant it took me back to 1998 when they must have played that song 8,000 times. Like that 98 Sun Bowl was the first football game I ever cared about. And that fight song playing over and over and over and over and over again in a game that they were losing is one of my enduring memories of that game.
It was always the first song that played on NCAA, I think 04, because that was when Matt Leinart was on the cover.
Yep.
And I was pissed. Hated that song.
Yeah, it's very annoying. It's got Boomer Sooner energy, right? It's or of the play something else. At least they were playing Daft Punk a lot in this game as well. I assume that was their band because TCU has never played Daft Punk. That'd be cool if we did, right? But yeah. Oh, and Steve, you said thoughts on the OC. I'm tickled pink about this new OC. So if those of you who didn't tune into the show when we were first talking about the Gordon Samus hire, I will go ahead and opine on it now. It is literally the most excited I've been about an assistant coach hire in, I can't even tell you how, like, since Meacham and Cumbie, probably. Just the potential. There's so much potential with this guy. As a middle school offensive coordinator who is also an offensive line coach, you are speaking my love language here with an offensive line coach who's calling plays. It's like we self-reflected and said, okay, what are we not good at? We're not physical up front, and we don't run the ball very effectively, and we can't close out games because we can't do that. Let's go find an offensive coordinator who is good at those things, right? Who can instill that, make that part of our culture. And this guy is going to come kick butt and turn this offensive line into something beautiful. And I cannot wait for it. It's going to be so great. It's going to be so awesome. I cannot wait. Yeah. Physicality has been the biggest thing that's been missing from this team, and Gordon Samus is going to bring it in. Am I wrong, Brownie?
It's definitely going to be interesting because if, hypothetically speaking, some of these new DCs come in and they start bringing in that 4-2, physicality is going to have to start to come back, right? But the run game is going to suffer because you're going to be able to 6-man, 7-man stack that box, especially with the star safety coming down, being an additional linebacker. So it's definitely going to be interesting as how they tailor their offense compared to the rest of the Big 12, right? Where we're still in that 3-3-5 honeymoon phase. Hashtag thanks, Peacock. Love you.
Yeah.
But also happy retirement. So it's definitely going to be interesting because I feel like half of our conference is going to start to switch back to a 4-2 or a 4-3. And others are still going to try to run that 3-3-5 odd, maybe a 3-3-5 over. Maybe some teams are going to have to switch to a 3-4, especially like Iowa State's going to be running a pro style offense. Your OC is probably going to run a combination of a pro style offense.
Yeah.
A lot of these other OCs that are getting hired, Colin Klein still likes to do his spread offense. So it's definitely going to be interesting because if teams start bringing back that 4-2 and start getting pressure to these quarterbacks and they're not able to sit there with a whole bunch of time or be able to have run plays that go off for 5 yards of play, like you're going to have to switch up something. You're going to have to go into the single eye. You're going to have to go underneath center. You're going to have to do rollouts. You're going to have to do bootlegs. You're going to have to do everything else. You're going to have to do short little flares, out routes, curls. I mean, digs. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I'm kind of excited for all these new coordinator hires. I just am pissed off that I also have to replace a head coach. So
and a whole roster.
Yeah. I think Well, all the news that keeps coming out saying that we only have 16 guys on the roster isn't even true because we still have like 45 people on the roster.
No.
But yeah, I do expect a slightly high turnover, but I know for a fact that we are getting most of Washington State's team predominantly on defense. We're not going to be really dropping the ball a whole heck of a lot on defense just because we are getting the number one MAC safety, the number one FCS safety, the number one Pac-12 safety.
Yeah.
We're getting 2 corners that were ranked in the top 25. So that's nice. We're getting the all Pac-12 defensive player of the year from Wazoo, the middle linebacker freshman. He's coming to us. We're maintaining 2 of our D linemen as well as getting multiple other D linemen from other schools. So realistically, I think it's just January 2nd is going to be absolutely brutal when everybody can enter the portal. But I do feel like we're going to be in a fairly good place by the end of the transfer portal just because, again, with the current state of college football, it's not only hiring a coach, you're hiring a roster, right? So I don't think Matt Campbell thought it was going to be as hard as he thought it was because right now he's basically making the Penn State Cyclones. And what pisses me off is Penn State has the most cupcakeiest schedule ever of all time. And it's going to really piss me off when they go 12-0.
Yep. Well, that's probably going to happen with Hoover at Indiana as well. Right?
Yeah. It's crazy. And God, I just hate
and it's going to be like, oh my God, we didn't know Matt Campbell and Rocco Beck. They're so great. Like, yeah, they were good before.
Yeah, you were digging on us this entire time. And
yeah.
It's going to be interesting because, I mean, John Heacock obviously is retired, so Matt Campbell has to get a new defensive coordinator. And Matt Campbell hasn't had a 4th down lineman since like 2015.
Yeah.
And you kind of sort of need that in the Big Ten. It's not like the Big 12 where we all play out of shotgun. Like, he's going to have to try to out Iowa the entire Big Ten, and nobody out Iowa's Iowa. So it's gonna it's gonna be definitely weird. But speaking of Big Ten, Whittingham now, Michigan. Didn't see that one.
Oh man, yeah, we have to talk about that.
Did not see that one coming.
Especially because he's retired, right? He was like, I'm done. Never mind. Michigan's throwing a bag at me. I think the funniest thing in all of this is that Utah fans on Twitter somehow thinking this ties them to the Big Ten and like, oh, that Big Ten invite's coming. Bro, sit down. No. Go take your medicine. Go sit in the corner.
Yeah, you are getting a Big Ten invite. Whittingham and the Utah roster.
Yes. All of your players, in fact, are going to the Big Ten. You will not be following them.
Your team, yes. You personally and your school, no.
Yes. It couldn't happen to a nicer group of folks. Except for the Utah fans podcast. We love y'all. Y'all are great. Yeah. Okay. Fong Wei has brought up something in the chat that made me think of a place that I feel is perfect to end this Alamo Bowl post-game Biggest 12 After Dark. That is, if no one else has anything to call in and get off their chest, you are also welcome to do so. I have spoken a lot throughout this season about concerns that I had about the culture of this TCU program under Sonny Dykes. And let me say that in many ways, this game has assuaged those concerns. The fact that Josh Hoover is essentially the only person who opted out of playing in this game, that you had leaders like Eric McAllister who were going to stand up there in front of everyone else and say, we are playing in this game. This game matters. We're going to play for each other as brothers, and we're going to go win this thing. That speaks volumes.
As it should.
And let me be the first to eat crow about that aspect of this TCU football program's culture, because obviously it is there and it is very real. I love that. That is one of the many reasons now that, against my better judgment, I am very excited about 2026. There is nowhere to go but up, baby. We are going to do this thing. We're going to get back into the conference title competition as long as we can find that quarterback. Okay, so let's keep the faith.
You know what we should
Brownie.
do before we
What
leave,
was that?
we're not signing off yet, old man.
Oh, okay. What?
I think the one thing that we should at least say before we head out is go ahead and look at all the NCAA lawsuits that are coming in right now.
Yeah.
NCAA has basically slapped hands, thrown their head up, and say that we don't care anymore. If you want something done, go talk to your state representative. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to keep going. I think eventually NCAA did what they wanted to do, and that was to piss everybody off to come crawling back to them to regulate everything. So can't wait for that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to be worried about with the state of college football, but you know, what can we do? All we can do is put on
cheer on our team and hope that we win.
Exactly. That's all we've got, really. Yes. And that's all we have for you tonight. So, you didn't have anything else today, did you, Brownie? Okay. All right. So, please subscribe to the show, my beautiful people out there at Big 12 BOCFB. Let's make this a movement. Let's spread this to all corners of the earth by fire and sword, preferably not by the latter means. Big 12 Voice of College Football, TCU Voice of College Football. Follow me on Twitter at Clint_Foster25 if you don't already. Follow Brownie on Twitter at Cyclone Brownie. He's a great time. He's a fun, cuddly guy. Great.
I love alcohol.
Yeah, that is also true. And make sure that you, there it is, at Clint Foster Creations. Subscribe to my personal YouTube channel. I made a sketch for y'all. Hope you liked it. And I'm working on, I guess now 2 more documentaries. I guess I'm going to be making a part 2 to Remember the Alamo Bowl. So keep your eyes out for that. But something else coming at you before then. So subscribe. You'll see it as soon as it comes out there. Follow Voice of College Football on all of your social medias. Check out the website. Download our podcast. Do all the things. You know what? I love y'all. I'll see you next year. Next Tuesday, we'll have all of the rest of the Big 12 Bowl games to talk about and break down. But until then, I love you. I hope your team wins. And go Frogs. See you around, folks.